This episode is brought to you by Luxaflex, transforming homes with beautiful, functional window coverings designed to change your life and lifestyle. Today's podcast episode has been styled by Oz Design, a company with over 45 years' experience in showcasing style.
As an employer, you can teach skills, you can teach culture, you can't teach attitude. If you're a designer, if you do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, you're missing something really critical, which is the person that you're designing for.
Yes.
Because they're all different.
Yeah.
So your work should never be the same because the person you're doing it for is different.
It can be quite confronting to show your true self and be vulnerable. Who are you, Darren Palmer?
Do you know, it's a great question. This is an awful story. Do you really want to know? It's a good story, but it's not nice. But I never studied journalism. Never studied interior design either.
This is excellent. Today you are in for a real treat. We're welcoming back friend of Home Beautiful, Darren Palmer, and we're going a bit behind the scenes with him. He is sharing some personal stories that we may not know from seeing him on the block, as well as things he's working on, like his podcast and the charity work that he does with Your Town. So get comfortable and enjoy. Darren, welcome again back to The Edit.
Good to be back. Thank you very much for having me.
Our video podcast. I want to know more about your video podcast. We like to call it a vodcast in the biz.
It's funny, isn't it, right? Because I refer to it internally as vodcast, and then when you're talking about it publicly, you have to say video podcast so people understand.
I know, people keep thinking I'm talking about vodka.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole other thing, isn't it?
I'm not recording vodka.
Sitting down with half an hour of vodka.
That is water, by the way.
It's definitely water. It's not gin.
But Almost Home. I think it's such a brilliant name, and it conjured up some ideas before I even started watching them and listening to them. Tell me why Almost Home.
Yeah, I mean, double entendre.
Yeah.
Because it's Darren Palmer's Almost Home.
Yeah.
So it's my Almost Home as a podcast, but also Darren Palmer is Almost Home, and all of my guests are all at different stages of what home is for them.
Yes.
And also what the idea of the podcast is, and I think this is really fascinating stuff, is what was home in formative times in their life, i.e. when they're a child or when they were younger and they had young children. And what did home look like and mean to them in terms of, was it security? Was it something that they aspired to? Was it something that they rejected because they didn't like the aesthetic? All the formative years stuff about home.
Yeah.
And then how they live now and whether that's an extension of this or a reaction of that. And I think that's really fascinating stuff. So we talk a lot about what it looked like, what it felt like, what it meant, and then what it looks like and feels like and means now. And often we make all these connections that they weren't even aware of.
Yeah.
I was speaking to Steve Cordoni, and he was recounting to me that his mum, she renovated houses, and she had a dream of having this particular house, and she's like, it's a bit like, with Rosedale Farm.
Yeah.
She's like, and he said, I was like, oh my God, that's the first time I've only realised that that's exactly what my mum did is what I did, and that's the reason why, whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
And so Rosedale Farm, that is the property that he bought. It was, I won't say run down, like it was a pretty nice house. But he just brought it back to life, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's what his mum used to do.
Oh.
And so we have these conversations that generally I've got an idea of where I want to go with the conversation, but there's lots of answers I don't know.
Yeah.
And so what I do know is how to ask the right questions and then we get to these really nice, rich conversations that have emotions in them and have nostalgia in them, and they paint vivid pictures of what home actually feels like and means to people. It's not just about, what colour wallpaper they had.
No.
It's what did it used to do to your heart?
Absolutely. It's interesting what you say about asking the right questions. I won't say surprised because that's a little rude, but you're an amazing journalist. I know interior design's your game, but you are wonderful at bringing the stories out of people.
I really appreciate you saying that. It's a little bit. I did a talk the other day. I did a keynote the other day, and I threw to questions, and someone in the audience said that was actually really good, and I was like,
and I just did the same thing.
I'm like,
sorry,
I
Darren.
know that's a compliment.
But
no, I really appreciate that. Like, I've actually been writing in the interior space since 2009. I mean, I've written 2 books.
So you are a journalist.
Yeah.
You are.
But I never studied journalism.
Yeah.
And here's a little tip for you.
Yeah?
Never studied interior design either.
This is excellent.
So I am an interior designer and an interior design writer, I like to say, and I haven't studied either of those things. So
this is amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to totally steal your concept because I want to know where you grew up, what was your house like, and how did you fall into interior design and writing?
Yeah, so
Let's start at the beginning.
yeah, okay. So I grew up in central Queensland, which was basically, if you know what Newcastle looks like, you know what Gladstone looks like, except it was way smaller.
Okay.
Right, so coal port, gas, concrete, steel plant, like industrial town.
Yeah.
Little gay interior design kids don't really fit in there. So maybe now they do, but back then in the 80s, not so much. So I grew up in a home where Mum was very house proud, and she had good taste for the 80s. Dad was very DIY, really handy, could build anything. Like, he's a welder, and he...
Are you handy?
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a designer's mind.
Yeah.
So in my house, they call me Daddy Fix It because something's broken, they can give it to me, and I'll be like, okay, fixed.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, how did you know? I'm like, well, because I know how I would have designed that if I designed it. So it makes sense that it fits together this way.
Yeah.
And Dad's got that mind. So that's early start in a very industrial, rural town where I didn't really fit. And I knew I didn't fit.
Yeah.
And it's not a very nice feeling for a kid.
No.
I really couldn't wait to get out of there. I also knew I didn't want to do a lot of the things that all my mates were heading towards, which was carpentry and electrical and plumbing. I knew that didn't fit me because I loved technical drawing, English and art at school.
Me too.
And I also was a theatrical. I was I was Danny in Greece at school. But yeah, so that's what childhood looked like to me.
Yeah.
And when I didn't really study very much at school. I was bright enough to get by. And so as a consequence, I wanted to be an architect, but I didn't get the grades. And also I realised they work for 6 years and come out and don't earn very much money.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I don't want to go to university for 6 years and come out and be in a really tough spot.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know what to do. And another really good friend of mine at the time, her dad had a friend who owned a sign writing company.
Okay.
Right. So he was like, if you get some skills or education, then I can employ you. And this is in Gladstone. I was like, all right, well, I'll go to TAFE. And I studied fine art and graphic design.
Yeah.
And then by the time I finished my graphic design studies, I realised that I was actually not bad at that.
Yeah.
I did placement at an advertising agency in Brisbane, for work experience, and then they employed me. So I finished college.
So did I.
Get out!
So did I. We're pretty much the same person. Yeah, I did work experience at an ad agency, specifically graphic design. But yeah, it wasn't until later on, I'm like, Mum and Dad, I don't know what I want to do. And they said, well, what do you enjoy? I said, well, I like art and I'm good at English. And they said, well, do that. So that's what I did at uni, art, history and English. And I thought, well, God, what do I do now? And they said, well, what jobs combine both? And it was magazines, words and pictures. So I got an internship at Bell and worked for free for a year until they felt sorry for me and gave me a job.
So let's talk to that for a second.
Okay.
I'm 48 years old. In my early career, I worked for that company.
Yeah.
I think for 3 weeks for free or 2 weeks for free first. And then I worked at an hourly rate where they only paid me for the hours that I actually worked and billed. So I ended up, I think I made 21 grand that year.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was like, I can learn from these people.
Exactly.
I'm getting educated and they're paying me.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's the way people think these days.
Well, exactly. It's not. It is an opportunity. And side note, we don't do the free work thing anymore. That's not legal.
No, it's not legal.
We don't do that.
No.
We pay. But to go above and beyond, I learned early on that if you want to get ahead, if you want to stand out, you do need to go above and beyond.
I feel like as an employer, you can teach skills. You can teach culture.
Yeah.
You can't teach attitude.
No.
And if someone has a great attitude and a great work ethic,
Yeah.
I will hire that person above the person that has skills and experience every single time.
Me too. Absolutely. Well, let's go back to your vodcast. I want to hear more about the things that you got out of them, because I've enjoyed them very much, and I love listening to the different stories. For example, Scotty being a grandfather now, and then Brooke, who technically doesn't have a home.
This is the fascinating thing. I think the fascinating thing about the guest list is I chose these people because one, they're either friends or people I have rapport with, and that I kind of love and respect. So there was that. But they each have a different story at a different time of life and a different way of interacting with and being in their homes that's unique. And I thoroughly believe, no matter who I talk to, that's going to be the case. Because it's the same thing with like an interior project, right? If you're a designer, if you do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, you're missing something really critical, which is the person that you're designing for.
Yes.
Because they're all different.
Yeah.
So your work should never be the same because the person you're doing it for is different.
That's it.
Right? So in the podcast, I speak to these people with some idea that I know where they are now. I don't know necessarily where they've been. I want to know all about that.
Yep.
I know that there are these touch points throughout their life that are really interesting to me to find out the answers about, that I might not know the answer to yet. And then I have faith that I'll be able to thread this together as we talk.
Yeah.
And we end up having these conversations about, like you said, like Scott, Cam, I because I know him so well, I know he's told me many times that he's adapted his house to keep his family close. And I think that's an absolutely just beautiful thing to talk about. It really
is. It is. And it's quite, in a way, it's a nod to the past because people did used to live that way, but also it's the future as well.
Yeah.
I think with the cost of housing, more and more people will be living together.
Yep. It's absolutely talks to multi-generational living. And, in my time of life, which some of my guests are, similar age to me.
Yeah.
We do get to this point where you're parenting your parents, right?
Yeah.
Your parents become your kids.
Yes.
So they've got to come and stay with you and they've got to live with you and got to look after them and all that stuff.
Yep.
So, and then there's young people that I've interviewed that are at the start of their home buying journey.
Yeah.
And there's all the sort of youthful vigour that comes with that. And
I think I know. Elaborate a bit more. Who
Josh
do you
and
mean?
Matt.
Yeah,
So Josh and Matt design. They're super interesting guys. Obviously, they have a really great and interesting aesthetic.
Yeah.
But they've got a really interesting story.
Yeah.
Because they both, and I didn't know this, they both grew up in rented housing, pretty much. I think one of them owned a house once, with it, like the family owned one house once, but they basically grew up in rentals, and then they built their whole social media career in rentals.
Yeah.
And they've only just bought a house, and like that's a really interesting concept that they're so thoroughly aware of what it takes to express themselves in a rented home.
Yeah.
And then they get to take the extension of that into something that they own and they're able to change any way they want. And so there's this sort of expansion of opportunity for them. And that's super interesting.
It is. It's really exciting. I think they are absolutely unapologetically them.
Yeah.
Oz Design is all about making your home look good and feel even better. This season's collection brings together natural textures, warm timbers, and clean, modern lines. The kind of timeless style that fits any space. Each piece is made to last and easy to mix and match, whether you're giving one room a refresh or styling your whole home. It's thoughtful design that feels relaxed but still refined. Check out the collection online or head in store today. Before we go on, here's your New Year trend inspo. Welcome to the Edit, Mel. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
You are a design expert and you're with Luxaflex. But I want to know, as we ask all our design experts on the show, what is it in your home that really fills you with joy?
I'd have to say my plants. So I have plants everywhere. I do live in an apartment, so it's all about bringing the outdoors in for me. And I have plants on my balcony, all over my home. So,
do you have a maintenance routine for them to look after them?
Some of them, yes. Some of them, no. Some of them just when they're looking a little sad. but yeah, they're. I would say that they're thriving, I would like to say.
I love the plants are your thing because actually in your work you are the outdoors expert.
Yes. I am the expert in outdoor blinds and awnings for Luxaflex. So it does perfectly, I think, fit.
Great. Well, no coincidence here. We have a segment where we answer our listener dilemmas. So room for advice, we call it, but let's take it outside. Vanessa from Stanmore, and she says, we are renovating and the living areas in our terrace house face west, so we have to put some kind of shading on the exterior. I want something that looks elegant and traditional and doesn't block too much natural light, but I'm worried about the rooms getting too hot as well. Help!
Yeah, so there's a lot of different options there. And I think an outdoor blind awning is a perfect solution. A lot of different types of awnings. And we've got the more roof type, which is probably what people think of when they think of awnings. So it's like a fabric roof that will open out when you're using it, and you can bring it back in when you're not using it. You can also have kind of an outdoor blind or an external screen, we might also call it. Yeah, so those drop down, think of like an external roller blind, something like that.
Okay.
And that's great as well, to block out the sun, depending on, where it's coming from the day, what your house looks like. So that can also be a really great option. We have so many different fabrics available. So when Vanessa talks about having something that's elegant, that's definitely something that's possible. And they look great. You really feel like you're bringing the outdoors in, with you. Just making kind of nature feel a little bit closer, which is what I think a lot of us want these days.
I sure do. And I know you do with your plants in your house.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm trying to do all the time.
Now back to the chat. We were talking about this earlier, that it can be quite confronting to show your true self and be vulnerable and be okay with that. Who are you, Darren Palmer?
Do you know, it's a great question because I started in in the media in 2009. And I didn't come out publicly until it was 2015, right?
And what made you think now's the time?
This is an awful story. Do you really want to know? It's a good story, but it's not nice. So I was on the beach with my husband, and my manager sent some photographs from an online news outlet saying, we've got these photos of Darren with a man at Bondi in the ocean. But does he have a comment, right? And at that time, I wasn't out publicly because I was concerned about all the commercial implications of working in the industry that I do, not the interiors industry, but also in the building industry and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh God, I just didn't want to take the risk, and it was a different time. This was 2015, but I'd made that decision in 2009. I had this conversation with my manager, and they went, just tell the truth. And I was like, okay, cool. So the comment was, well, that's my husband, and we've been married since 2011, and that's the story that they ran, which is super great for me, because if I had lied, the photos they showed of me, we were this far apart, we could have been friends.
Yeah.
The photos that they ran, we were clearly a couple. We were lying on two towels right next to each other, sort of looking adoringly at each other and kind of holding hands and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think what they wanted was a gotcha, like, Darren Palmer's sexuality exposed. And instead what they had to run a story on was my tattoo.
So really, you got them.
Well, honesty served me.
Yeah.
And I was then able to show a little bit more of myself that I was afraid to show.
Yep.
Like, I've always been afraid of my sense of humour in the media. Because it's not right.
Same.
Really?
Yeah, people don't know that actually, filthy sense of humour.
So filthy and twisted is mine, right? Like, the things I think are funny are really not great for public consumption.
Yep.
But the more I show of myself, the more I allow people to get to see who I really am.
Yes.
And then if they love it, awesome. And if they don't, that's cool. But at least they actually like me, the real me. Because on the block, all you see, and this isn't really part of that sort of measured approach to how I display myself. This is literally, I'm doing a pragmatic job that's about assessing design fundamentals.
Yes.
And so I'm in this very specific mindset where I'm thinking and talking about design-centric stuff.
Yeah.
But this is why I wanted to do Almost Home. It's as much about the audience getting to know my guests, but it's as much about them getting to know me also and getting to see my personality and my sense of humour and all the things that I think are funny.
I can't agree more. It's such a surreal thing. I'm certainly nowhere near as well known as you, but if I'm hosting reader events, I can't tell you how often people will, say things to me, and they mean well, but it's like they have an impression of what an editor should be, and I just think I'm not Miranda Priestley. I am the Devil Wears Zara. That's who I am. And
I love that so much.
And I'm okay with that because I think that's normal. It is not a normal thing to be getting around in Prada all the time. Okay. Or in my case, ever.
Very often, people will be like, "Whoa, that's a cool outfit you wore on the block this week. Where's it from?" Zara.
Yeah. Exactly.
My God, we're the same person.
We really are the same person.
Gee whiz.
I know.
I think this is the thing, right? Like, I always, it's not like any part that I ever showed was not me.
Exactly.
It's only that I would show only specific bits of me. And there are so many facets to all of us.
Yeah.
And I love the version of myself that my friends get to see.
Yes.
Because it's kind of empathetic, filthy. I think funny. They think maybe not.
My dad always says, as long as you're having a laugh at your own jokes, that's fine. You're having a good time.
Yeah, they're not great when you have to explain them to people. If you want to see actually what I'm really like with one of my good friends, watch the episode with Alison Langdon on Almost Home.
Yeah.
She hacks on me non-stop. That lady is funny.
It's true. What did she say? Oh, how cute that you think you're a lamb. Mutton dressed up as lamb?
Okay.
Gee, that's a solid friendship.
It's a great story. Watch the podcast for that one. It's excellent. But yes, it's so cute that you think you look like lamb. So that is the sort of stuff that you get from Almost Home, because you get to see this levity and this brightness, but also a lot of depth of emotion behind the nostalgia of some of the stories that come. And, it's what I'm not after is like a cry fest. I don't want to press buttons and upset people. But you can see in some of them, and I can read, I'm like, okay, I'm getting really close
There's
to
feeling.
something that it feels something.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be respectful and not push that one.
Yeah.
But we both can feel that we've hit something that is really important.
Definitely. Now, the podcast is not all that you're working on. And something I think people may or may not know about you is you do quite a bit of charity work that is very much, it's not just connected to interior design, it is interior design.
Yeah, it's an opportunity. My husband and I like to make this joke that he improves the world one wrinkle at a time, and I improve the world one cushion at a time.
And Cher, what does he do for work?
He's a skin industry expert.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. But that's like
You're both making the world more beautiful.
We're both very aesthetically driven.
Yeah.
And we're focusing on, maybe things that, aren't brain surgery. Let's put it that way.
But still important.
Still important. But the thing is, my work doesn't really ever get to help a lot of people, except for the people that I'm working with directly. The thing that I get to do with Your Town is I use my skills and my profile together to improve houses so that they sell them for a ticket price and they make money, and then that money goes towards funding things like Kids Helpline or helping people get, young people get work opportunities. And it's a really wonderful charity, and they do really great work. And the work that I do directly impacts how much money they can make from that house, which means how much money they have to help people.
Yeah.
So I've built a house from scratch with them. We've basically pulled the whole house apart and rebuilt it with them.
Yeah.
I've replaced kitchens and bathrooms and things with them. I've done only furniture and decor with them. I say only, like for a full house, in a week. So I've done 11 years of that, and I've kind of got it down to a finely oiled machine. That's part of their business, right? They buy houses.
Yeah.
So one of the parts of their business is they are always looking for properties. They're always looking for houses. They're looking for opportunities. And then, the part that I do is I get to take something that's good or great and make it even better. Yeah. So that they can make a premium on the sales, on the ticket sales, and that just, it's one of the only things that I can do where my actual skills actually help lots of people.
Yeah. It makes a huge impact.
It does. Yeah. I mean, it's millions and millions of dollars, I think.
When it comes to creating a home that feels calm, beautiful, and uniquely yours, light plays a key role. Luxaflex offers a range of custom window coverings that don't just elevate your interiors. They help you control a space with light. From soft sheers that diffuse sunlight to smart blinds that move at the touch of a button. Every Luxaflex product is made with quality craftsmanship and thoughtful design. Discover how Luxaflex can transform the way you live and enjoy your home every day. Visit luxaflex.com.au to explore the full collection, or visit your local showroom today. Next up, I know you're familiar with this, Darren, is the mystery drawer. Now, we've all got the mystery drawer in our house. You just don't know what's inside. It is the mystery. What hidden treasure have you bought today?
This thing doesn't fit in a drawer.
Oh,
no.
Okay. So, I'm intrigued. Go on.
This is something. So I saw on the Cool Hunter probably 14 years ago. This very cool artist that I'm sure everybody's seen since. And then I was in Paris with my husband, who's Parisian, and we were walking through the streets and we saw the artist being in a gallery in France, in Paris. And we're like, oh, that's the artist from the Cool Hunter. So we bought that in Paris and had it rolled up and sent over to us. And we got that framed at home. So that's Françoise Neely. And you've probably seen things that look like her work.
Yes, absolutely have.
She's the original.
How big is that?
1.2 by 1.2.
That's a big work.
Yeah. What she does is these like realistic faces, but in unrealistic colours. So vibrant yellows and pinks and neons. Mm-hmm. The eyes are always really interesting. The details are all there, but she puts it on with a trowel, so it's thick paint.
Yeah.
And they're very graphic and they're very sharp. I mean, I moved house recently, and the removalist was like, "Did you get this in Thailand?" And I was like, no.
No shade on Thailand.
I do know that people are replicating these works and they are something that are being ripped off, but this is the original artist, Françoise Neely. So, and she's beautiful. And now we talk on Instagram.
Do you?
Yeah.
Who reached out to who?
I'm fairly confident we reached out to her. Yeah.
And did you send her pictures of it hanging in your home?
I'm sure I've sent her pictures of it actually in print from different projects throughout the years. I have had that painting in several homes. It's been in several photo shoots, and
it's a real anchor piece.
Yeah, and it's close to my heart because one, the Parisian connection, and two, it makes me feel something.
It's joyful. It's alive, and I'm really impressed. It's so full of colour because I think, your Bondi home was so serene. Was this in the Bondi home too?
Yeah, it was. Where was it? In the entry. And this is the thing about art, right? You can do art as decor, right? Something that looks good on a shelf or in a vignette of or a gallery hang. Or art, I think, art that makes you feel something that's visceral. Yeah. It makes the hair stand up on your arms or your heart beat faster. That art doesn't matter what it looks like.
No.
It'll work in your home.
That's right.
It doesn't need to be part of the decor. It sets apart from that.
Let's go back to the entry. We love a home tour at Home Beautiful. I would love for you to take us on an audio home tour.
Right.
So, I come to your place. We're at the front door. You welcome us in. What's the first thing we'll see?
It's a rented apartment, and it is about a year old, and it's in an old sort of 1930s building that's been redeveloped. It's a single floor, and the interior is modern and clean and beautiful. You walk in the front door, and there is like a timber batten screen that runs down the hallway on one side, and on the other side of the hallway, because it's a sort of hallway, it's all mirror. Mm-hmm. And then you walk into the kitchen. It has green marble splashback, and there's a fireplace. It's got 3 outdoor terraces. It's got brown brick from outside, so we pulled in that colour in some of the furniture inside. There's a pink concrete dining table that has like brown leather, or sort of I'm going to say somewhere between orange and brown leather chairs from Fenton & Fenton. Mm-hmm. We've got a green velvet macro corduroy.
I love a macro corduroy.
From Cave Furniture. It's Cave Home. It's the most comfortable sofa I've ever sat on, by the way.
Okay, good to know. That's a good edit.
Oof, it's so great. There's a charcoal glass coffee table and a bronze glass coffee table overlaid. We have a big sort of plum-coloured geometric rug with a corner curved on it. What else?
Rich colour palette.
Lots of colours.
What does it sound like? Because often you can hear a home before you see it.
It's funny. There's a basketball court across the road, so depending on the time of the day, it sounds like people playing basketball. Otherwise, it's dead quiet. I hear nothing but a few people walking past here and there, and usually I have music playing.
Mm-hmm. What do you listen to?
So I have quite varied music tastes.
Mm-hmm.
I love a bit of pop, but there's a particular artist called Ludovico Einaudi. And are you familiar with him?
I am familiar.
Okay. So I listen to Ludovico Einaudi when I need to write.
Yes.
When I need to do a thing,
Yep.
I pop my AirPods on, the big ones that cover your ears, and it's like all of the thoughts go, and I'm like, I can think about one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Yep.
And his music does something really nice to my mind.
Yes. What if you're having people over?
Generally, it's some sort of like beach club, Ibiza, gentle house
Good
kind
beat.
of. Yeah, nice subtle
Yes.
beat, good lyrics, something that feels like you're in the sunshine,
Yep.
and you can have a glass of rosé in your hand.
And what does your home smell like?
It smells like Darren Palmer candles.
Obviously it does.
But it does.
Yeah.
Like that's I have loads of them. So we've
Where
got
do you keep them?
in a cupboard in the office.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Everyone needs a candle cupboard.
yeah, they're all stacked up. So I've got the It's a Vibe on the dining table. I've got happy hours on the coffee table. Skinny dippers in one of the bathrooms. I've got St. Sultry in my bathroom. So my whole house smells like my candles.
It's a full scentscape.
Yes. Yeah, and they all take you in different directions for different feelings. And I don't light them all at once. Let's
No.
put it that way, because
No.
that would be a little overwhelming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How do you hope people feel after they've been to your home?
My idea of fun is having my friends in my home. So generally, if I've got my friends over, what I hope they leave feeling is joy, and that we've had a fun time, we've had lots of laughs.
Well, Darren, I have to say, leaving this episode of The Edit by Home Beautiful, I was going to say Elle Lovelock's Almost Home.
We could do that one.
We could.
It's the distinction is Elle Lovelock is almost home. So we could do that episode. We could, yeah.
I'm available, just saying.
All right, got it.
You have left me with a total sense of joy, and again, it's been a delight to have you on, and we can't wait to have you back.
Thank you. I will come back anytime you want. It's a joy.
Well, that was incredible. I absolutely love any time spent with Darren. I hope you enjoyed it too. We certainly learnt a lot more about him. If you've got anything you'd like to share, leave it in the show notes, and we can't wait to see you again next time. This episode is brought to you by Luxaflex, transforming homes with beautiful, functional window coverings designed to transform your light and lifestyle. Thank you to Oz Design for our beautiful set. Come and visit the Experience team in store and see the collection for yourself.